Now you just went live, pal. Good.
She's gonna call around 6:10.
I'll be looking at the phone.
6:10, 6:11. Give me a few minutes.
When I get off the phone, you'll know he's through. I'll point.
And now it's time for a power hour from America's trusted resource for everything real estate. Everything in the real estate industry is in a constant movement of change. It's a real estate revolution with your host, Victoria Rivadeneira, and her co-host, Scott Forcino. Welcome to the Real Estate Revolution.
It's okay with the TV? Hi, good evening, folks. We are here another Monday. It seems like these weeks creep up on us quickly. I'm Scott Forcino from Exit Realty Group in Elmsford, New York. We are missing our hostess with the mostess, Victoria Rivadeneira, tonight. She is traveling to the National Association of Realtors convention in San Diego, and she's sitting on some panels and having some training and giving some training. I'm sure she'll come back to the company, Exit Realty International, with some fantastic information to share, make our brokers better. I'm happy tonight to have with us Darryl Davis. He's a friend. He's actually a client at some point in the distant past. He is going to pull back the curtain and give us information for clients, what they want to hear from their realtors. What's the best way to work with realtors and for their best benefit? Remind everyone that Darryl's here tonight because this is such a consumer-facing show, and it really, there is a need for clients to understand what these professionals do, how compensation is earned, what are the best ways to buy or sell. It is a very, very mystifying process with a lot of jargon and lingo and a bunch of professionals involved. I used to call it a real short sprint where you get really hot in the beginning, finding the house, and it's all smiles, going to contract, putting down some money, starting everyone in the process. Then it might get cold during the time people are getting a mortgage. Then they get hot again in time for a closing. And that's a really stressful time. It's a place for families. It's a place for schools where they're changing and setting up rooms, painting walls and floors, and really, really setting up in new surroundings. So it's an important time. People make life changes wherever you grow up, and it has a lot to do, I think, with how you identify with yourself and your friends and lifelong connections. I'm from New Rochelle. I have some friends from there as well, and I know that that's a big step when kids move and the parents are pretty stressed. So I will introduce Darryl Davis. He's on his way to give a call in. We're very excited tonight to have as a special guest tonight's show, Darryl Davis. In the past 25 years, he's been a motivational speaker, sales trainer, and best-selling author with McGraw-Hill Publishers. And the topics are how to generate more sales and serve their sellers and buyers with the utmost integrity and professionalism. Because of his busy travel schedule, he could not be with us today in the studio. We grabbed him in between flights, and he'll be calling in momentarily. What we're going to do with Darryl is utilize his training techniques for realtors and flip them upside down and see how clients benefit by working with the realtors that have made themselves better. They can get the most bang for their buck when they sell, and they can be, I think, attractive to sellers when they are looking for their next home. I guess a lot of it has to do with how they deal with the other lenders, the other professionals in the transaction, whether they're lenders, lawyers, title companies, insurance companies, and home inspectors, everyone involved in each deal. So when Darryl calls in, we're going to he's going to field some questions. We're going to ask him what he thinks and what he advises realtors to do, how to best serve clients. And that's really the name of the game here, making sure that these clients have a positive experience. They don't view this closing or settlement process as an ordeal. They are pleased. It becomes a good thing, not a fight, not a unpleasant experience for the family and all the parties involved. So, do we have any callers in yet? No one yet. Okay, so we're a little bit more. Victoria asked me to make sure our public knows
The number?
the number. Yeah, the number is 914-693-5700. So for those, We are on social media with Meerkat and Periscope.
At HomeSearchTV.
At HomeSearchTV. Hashtag HomeSearchTV or @HSTV. For those people that want to call in, and you can really ask me anything regarding last night's Giant game. I mean, whatever you want to know. But I'm really happy that Darryl's coming in. I know he's had a long presence on Long Island. He brought that around the country. He's been helping realtors get better and really be more useful to the real estate public and get clients, I guess, ready for the purchase, ready for the sale, and really, really maximize the process. Let's see. People have questions. They've called in the past and asked what is the ideal process? Should they get their home ready for sale by staging it, by fixing it up, by cleaning it up? Would they get the most money if they're ready for sale before or after the holidays? These are some of the topics that we're going to cover. Also, the pricing. Sellers need to know how to price their home. Do they price it right at market, a little below, or a little bit above?
WFAS.
So there's a lot of this insight that we want to grant our viewers and callers in. I think we have a call coming in now.
All right, I'll put you through right now.
I think that's Darryl. Hold on, please. Okay, am I going to hear Darryl?
Yep.
Great. Hey, Darryl, how are you?
Good, how are you?
As I said, this is Darryl Davis, and he's a big shot. Is that fair to say?
Well, at least my fiance thinks.
That's true. That's for sure. And I think your fiance and I have the same birthday, April 12th.
Yes, it is.
Isn't that funny?
Now, hopefully no one's going to steal your identity listening to the show.
No, that's all. But she's much younger than me, of course. So I introduce you, Darryl, as a friend and as a real estate pro. And I know that Darryl has guided real estate professionals throughout the nation, both on Long Island. And I've introduced you as, for the last 25 years, a motivational speaker, sales trainer, best-selling author, advising real estate professionals how to generate more sales and serve their sellers and buyers with the utmost integrity and professionalism. So I want to welcome you to the show. What I hope we could do is kind of turn back the curtain and let clients know what realtors are doing and what all this training is for, how they're getting better, and how it benefits them. So, we can hit on a bunch of topics, and I want to hear your expert opinion.
Sure, I'm glad to be here. By the way, I just want to say that I think the show that you and Victoria put together is just incredible. I acknowledge you for what you're doing for the general public, for buyers and sellers, and it's a privilege for me to be here. I wish I could be there in person.
It's quite all right. You can save the travel and drive time. We're happy to do the show. It's something I've wanted to do for a long time, and people, as I'm sure you'll know, and you'll touch upon this in a meaningful way, they're so mystified by the process. What is going on? They somehow sign a contract, and then a house and a moving truck happens. So I need you to fill in the blanks there. So I want to ask you right off the bat, if for someone thinking of selling, there's always the very first question, should I hire an agent or sell it myself to save the commission? And what do you think about that question, and what is the best response?
Well, yeah, that's a great question, Scott. It's something that every homeowner struggles with, and I don't blame them. It's when you look at the number, you look at the amount of money an agent would get paid. That seems like a lot of money, and if I were a homeowner, I wouldn't want to lose that money either. But the question is, are they really losing it? And everything shows that they're not. Actually, they lose money when they do it on their own. There's been a lot of tax on this. Just one to point out. When you think about it, become licensed to help somebody sell property or to buy property, they have to be licensed by their state. And I'm not sure what it is in New York. I know the minimum in the average state is 50 hours just to get licensed. What is it now?
It's 75 now. It was 42 or 45. Went to 75 after the mortgage mess, real estate implosion of 07, 08. It's 75 now.
So let's look at just 75. So you've got traditionally a homeowner might think that, well, how hard is it to sell a house? You do an open house, you put balloons out, you place an ad. Well, if you think about 75 hours, they're not teaching how to do an open house in 75 hours. So there's a lot that is taught to an agent just to even start helping people do it. That's the first thing. And so if I were a homeowner, I'd be wondering, well, what don't I know that I don't even know that I don't know? but let me share this common thing that a homeowner will say too. They'll say, well, you know what? If I find the buyer, my attorney will help me with all of those hours that I don't know, right? And I think about, because I like you, I'm a New Yorker, and I always think of, I like going to the city and watching a Broadway show, and when you think about everything that's involved in putting a Broadway show together, you've got the lighting design, set design, costume, makeup, you've got all of these people trying to put the show together. And the one person that everybody talks to is the director. You can't put any show together without a director. You follow me, Scott?
Of course.
All right, so in a real estate transaction, when a homeowner says, well, my attorney will do it, what's interesting is the attorney never only talks to the buyer's attorney and to their client. The seller's attorney would never talk to the appraiser, never talk to the seller, never talk to the buyer. And the buyer's attorney is not going to talk to the appraiser or talk. My point here, Scott, is there's all of these people not talking to one another. There is only one person in a real estate transaction that everybody talks to, and that's the real estate agent. So to me, trying to sell a house without using a real estate agent is like trying to put a Broadway show without a director. It's going to have its problems.
Right, and there isn't federal law that governs the Broadway production either, where the sellers themselves are subject to federal laws such as fair housing. And you mentioned lawyers, but Wisconsin doesn't use lawyers, and Tampa doesn't use lawyers, and Michigan and Maine don't use lawyers. So it's really a New Yorky thing, and this is a streaming web show. So people in Oregon don't even know about lawyers ever being involved. So that's completely ridiculous as an objection from a homeowner.
Yeah, and going back to the price thing, and I really want people to fact check me on this, Scott, because this will help a lot of homeowners. That, again, as I said before, is that they think that on the surface, yeah, I want to save that money. But here's a couple of interesting facts. The Wall Street Journal published an article in 2011. This guy by the name of Colby Sambrado, I'm going to spell it out because I really, really, really want people to Google this. If they type in Colby, with C, C-O-L-B-Y, Sambrado, S-A-M-B-R-A-T-T-O, they'll find that this is the creator of ForSaleByOwner.com, which was some people would say he wrote the book on how to sell your own property. And he made so much money off of people paying him to help them sell their own property that he buys a condominium in New York City, and he decides in 2011 he's going to sell it himself. So he puts it out on the market, hot seller's market, New York City, 6 months, Scott. He couldn't sell the property. 6 months.
Wow.
So he finally, now this is I could stop right here. He hires a realtor. Now, if the guy who wrote the book on how to sell your own property can't sell his property in a hot seller's market, I wonder how anybody could. But here's a real punchline, Scott. He lives with the agent. The agent repackages it. The agent, this is what they do for a living, right? So they sold the property for $150,000 more than what he tried to do as a for sale by owner. And they paid 6% on $2 million, which is $120,000 commission. If you do the math, this Colby Sambrado netted $30,000 more in his pocket by working with a real estate professional.
Right.
So that's why I said that I really don't believe that homeowners save money. They actually lose money when they try to do it on their own. I'm going to give you one more example to fact check this, and then I'm going to say one other thing to really bring this point home.
Darryl, you know what? I'm getting told we have a short break. I don't want to interrupt you in your story, so hold on to that for just a few moments. My admin here is telling me we got to take a quick one, so just stay right there and get ready. Get ready to hit us with it. Thank you.
Have you ever been disappointed
Yeah,
because
give me
something
like a little
important you
lead like
planned
that.
went wrong?
Yeah, this is. Wasn't he touching on this? The percentage of value.
Well, he was saying, he just was telling that to the story. Somebody here on Periscope asked the question, what's the percentage a realtor gets versus for sale by owner for their house?
42 states, including
You mean increase in value?
Right.
All right, I'll hit him with that. And by the way, from Raise the Bar, I know the guy who did that deal, Jesse Buckler. Jesse Buckler. Yeah, Phil knows him too. The guy,
Agent on that.
the agent on that is a guy named Jesse Buckler, who's at one point was hot on Raise the Bar and kind of drifted away, like people do. So,
That was a question that came in through here. We've got to,
so what percentage you're saying? Like, realtors get 88% of the asking price, and forcible owners get 67, something like that, right? That's what you're talking about.
yeah, I think the numbers are a whole lot higher than
Yeah, I know. I just 98 to 91 or something like that.
This is Paul Oster, the nation's credit repairman, and I want to help you improve your
that.
credit.
Is
As the
there a,
CEO of
where does that
There-
stat come from?
thousands of
Where's that?
people
NAR?
over
I don't know.
years. I'm the credit
I mean, it
expert
can't
for
be
Fox
too,
Business News and all the major
impartial.
networks. I'm a certified FICO Pro that uses the
Well, do they
consumer laws
track
to help delete
a
negative
for sale by
information
owner
off of credit reports.
when it goes
We're a
listed
debt
to when it
elimination
sells?
program that
Sorry?
focuses
Sorry.
on the laws surrounding collections, judgments, and charge-offs. You could be entitled to up to $1,000
I'm wondering how
per
we were
violation.
talking just.
Call now for your free credit consultation.
Move back into the frame there.
888-533-8138.
I wonder if
That number again?
People are-
888-533-8138.
brokers have declined to call them for sale owners. Don't want to
Or
give them
visit
that
us on the web
category, that designation. It's called
1 minute.
unrepresented homeowners. They're not even sellers. I don't know if they're upside down. They are unrepresented and they are homeowners. For now.
By the way, like, if I give you like a 1 minute sign, you don't have to, I mean, it's not like a hard break, like there's some leeway we have, so.
Okay, but I know he was going to launch into another.
Alright, so yeah, that's then, yeah,
That's why I
whatever.
didn't want to cut him off.
Whenever I give you that 1 minute, whenever you find it's a good time to stop, then that's when you can stop it.
Yeah, that came from Ken, and he's been living the real estate life for 36 years.
20 seconds.
Okay.
They will get you the right mortgage for you. Call AndyMac Home Mortgage at 1-888-242-1313. That's 1-888-242-1313. AndyMac Home Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMSL 338923. AndyMac Home Mortgage is a licensed lender by the Colorado Mortgage Company Registration.
3.
Okay, great. Hi, and we're back with Darryl Davis from Darryl Davis Seminars, and I know Darryl had another important point to give us. Go ahead. Darryl, are you there still?
Yeah, I'm still here. of
Great.
course.
You wanted to tell us the next aspect of that information.
Yeah, we'll spend just maybe a couple more minutes on this price thing because I'm so passionate and concerned for homeowners that they don't lose money. There was I'm sorry, I just had something play here. We had the Herald in St. Petersburg Beach, Florida. There was a mansion for $3.7 million. This came out last year in the Herald Tribune. Now again, I encourage people to fact check me by owner. So BUY owner.com. Anyway, he has this mansion in Florida, St. Petersburg, and he wanted to sell it. Well, sure enough, he lists his $3.78 million property with a coal banker agent. So here's a second example of somebody trying to that's been proponent of people selling their own property. He couldn't even do it. So, and actually, got one other thing. 2003, USA Today came with an article, which was the hottest. You remember 2003, right? That was the hot market.
Very hot, sure.
And even back then, USA Today discovered if you took all the properties that sold by owner and all the ones that actually listed with an agent, there was a difference, a 21.49% difference for the agent selling it higher
What was that?
than the
21 plus.
selling on their own. So truly, when you think about it, homeowners lose money when doing it on their own. And I'm going to tell you one reason why that is. And if we can come back to this, we will. Our society, no matter what somebody's selling, whether it is furniture, clothes, jewelry, whatever, when we see it on Craigslist, we expect a better deal than if you took the exact same thing, Scott, and put it in a brick and mortar building. Because when you buy from a company, there's more security, there's more of an accountability of a business that you can hold accountable. I would challenge anybody listening to this show right now that what they do is actually go kellybluebook.com and price out their own car, put in the miles, put in the make, the color, everything, the condition. And it's going to ask you, Kelley Blue Book, are you buying that car privately or from a dealership?
Mm-hmm.
And you will exact same car, Scott, from a dealership is going to cost more than 10% more than if you bought the same car from the individual privately.
For sure.
So, yeah, so there's a huge misconception, and it hurts me when I see a homeowner try and sell their own property, because I know, based on all of this, and we could do a whole show just on this, that they're actually losing money, not saving that money.
Well, there's 2 points I want to make in response. I couldn't agree more.